Welcome to this preview for Windows on the World, 9:30 p.m. tonight. That's Sunday and every Sunday. So we're just going to get into some interesting stuff again tonight, a follow on from last week's show, which was called the Freeman Experiment. So the last show in the archive was called the Freeman Experiment, and it went into all of the steering that's been going on to basically put the public and the gullible into a dead end. So we're going to carry on with that theme tonight and outline how it's being used and how people are being steered through believing that they're actually going against the tyranny, they're actually enabling it. This is, of course, what we've talked about many times before. And I went into it on a really good Q&A stream we did the other night with some people in Manchester called A Different Gravy. And I put the link here actually in the chat for this live stream. And I'm going to post it underneath the YouTube video, which will be this one when it goes onto YouTube. So the link will be underneath this preview on YouTube. And also, of course, Odyssey. I'll be putting it on Odyssey. Every show that we do now goes onto Odyssey, and I back up everything from the YouTube channel on the Odyssey channel. So everything that was previously in the YouTube archive is now on Odyssey, plus all the new shows. And we broadcast every Sunday on Spreaker, which is from windowsontheworld.net on the live shows page. So the live shows page at windowsontheworld.net is where you find our live shows being broadcast live every week, 9:30 p.m. Sunday time. And then, of course, permanently in that archive. So the whole archive of everything we've ever done is at windowsontheworld.net. You can find everything on the homepage. We do actually have a Discord server, and we've got hundreds of people on there who exchange very interesting information, a bit different and better than what's going on in so-called social media. Yeah, you enjoyed the Q&A. Brilliant. That's great, because that's what it was all about. It's all about information, and I don't want to waffle on. I don't want to get into hopium. I don't want to get into distraction, and I never have. So when we did that stream, it was quite interesting because I thought that the whole thing was looking a bit disorganized. So I pulled it quickly together, and Al, who actually put the show on, did a great job, and it was really good to hear from people. And I'd like to maybe do that on here. Maybe I should do a live stream on here, like a Q&A thing, because all the stuff we've got in the archive has been tried and tested over many years. And I often go back into the archive of windowsontheworld.net, looking at the articles and the show archive, and there's groups of shows that have been lumped together, which is in the show archive on the front page. But all the Sunday shows are, of course, in the live shows section on the live shows page. And then all the videos are there on the site as well. So everything's there. And I go back to these articles that I've written, which some contain a lot, well, many contain the links to shows. And those shows are sort of grouped together. So it is like an encyclopedic archive, really, the whole of the website, which is what I wanted in the first place. That was the whole idea. windowsontheworld.net is an archive. It's actually an encyclopedia of how global governance works. And for those who are interested, they can put the bigger picture together, then go off and do their own research, because basically all this I've done is gone through the whole history of the Global Action Plan and put it together. And I'm always learning, of course, but tonight's show is going to be a kind of follow on from last week's show. I often do this. Every show seems to follow on from the other. Of course it does, because it's like a continuum of information in a way. And tonight we're going to follow on from last week's show, which was called the Freeman Experiment. So I'm going to bring that up to date with how the media are now framing people who have been steered into the inevitable outcome by acting accordingly and basically interpreting the meanings of such terms as common law and spouting them without knowing what they're talking about. And that is now being used against them, because we've got this new Bill of Rights coming in, this Bill of Rights, which basically empowers the so-called community to take over from individual rights. So the individual rights are balanced against those of the so-called community, which is the Global Action Plan, the tyranny basically that's been imposed. And that is called communitarianism. We've covered it many times, of course. The Satanists know about natural law, so should the people. Well, the thing is, natural law is a term which really has been destroyed. I mean, the people who you're talking about have destroyed it. And that's what this is about. It's about the consolidation of power into this global action plan, this global idea of this fake consensus of community, which of course doesn't exist, which is what everyone is assumed to be a part of. And of course, individual rights are all taken away. And it's been done stealthily, but now we're in the final throes of it. So there's not been a time in history where the information that we put out has been as important as it is now. Is that definite regarding the revision of the Bill of Rights? I'm not actually talking about the revision of the Bill of Rights. I'm talking about what they said in the opening. They've actually openly stated that the rights of the individual will be balanced against the rights of the community, which of course means basically a totalitarian, despotic rulership, archons ruling over everyone else on a philosophical view. But on a legal basis, that just means that your rights are balanced against the rights of an invisible community that has never existed. Because what they're doing is basically taking away individual rights and saying that our consensus reality, which we impose on you, is the law, which of course is against all principles of natural law. So we're in the communitarian positive law now, and they're openly announcing it. But we're going to be reporting on how people have been basically hoodwinked and swept along with this. And of course, not everyone is. Most of the people who listen here, for instance, are not, which is great. I think be appointed. It's going to take over from Chris Eder Dick. Well, I mean, it's got to be somebody with pantomime name potential after that, hasn't it? Otherwise, it's going to be a big disappointment. But look, that was just a change agent, a useful idiot, probably compromised and has now been kicked out because obviously these people are despotic, they are puppets, and they are useless. Despotic, useless puppets. So guess what? There's going to be another one in there in a minute. And things will probably take a turn for the more draconian. That's what I'm predicting. So there has never been a time when you need to arm yourself with real knowledge, not the fake knowledge, which we've exposed and we probably will talk about a bit tonight. Yeah, exactly. Natural law is how the universe works and can never be destroyed. Well, of course not. But the people who are in charge of this, these technocrats and these basically misguided globalists, don't think like that. And that's really what I was putting across on the show the other night with the Q&A on A Different Gravy. So have a look at that. I'm going to link that actually underneath this video. This is just a short introduction to tonight's show. Please join us every Sunday, 9:30 p.m. UK time at winnersontheworld.net. Please subscribe on Odyssey and join our Discord server if you'd like to chat. And get in touch if you'd like to discuss issues. And I'm always looking for people who've got different angles to bring on the shows. I've got a big backlog of stuff actually I've got to put out at the moment, so I'll put some of that out next week. All right then, 9:30 p.m. Join me at windorsontheworld.net this Sunday and every Sunday, and I'll be back during the week. We're meant to be rescheduling an interview with people in Ireland, and hopefully we'll do that in the week. So keep an eye out. Do subscribe to us on Odyssey. And yes, take a look at the website because all of the information is on there. So 9:30 p.m. this Sunday and every Sunday. Cheers, everyone. Okay, cheers.